to the post-conflict recovery through research, skill development, and also this evidence-based planning. So the format will be simple. Each student will have 15 to 20 minutes for presentation and will follow with a question and answer. So I encourage all participants to keep questions and constructive and focused. Ask for clarification, also maybe suggest sources or methods if they are missing, and also practical ideas that can help the students to improve their work. To our student presenters, also keep your presentations clear and to complement each other also to see this as one whole presentation. So we will try to follow the order which is shown in the poster. We will move continuously through the list, and we might, since all of them are in Ethiopia and the students are, we have from Adigrat, Mekelle, from Dredawa, and in different areas. So please be patient if we have technical issue, and we will do our best to keep the session running smoothly. So I also would like to thank the supervisors and colleagues who also support the students. And so thank you again for your time and interest. So if you want to learn more about the project, you can go into our project site and go through what activities are going on. And for potential applicants of the scholarship, also they can through into the scholarship, and then look into the students' thesis abstracts, and also at the end of the page you can see how you can apply and what requirements are there. In the resources you'll find different visuals, 3D pictures, and also 360 photos of different sites. You can explore this one. We try to put in this Google site all the information together in one space. So now let's begin with our first presenter to Semere Zerabruk. He's the staff at Adigrat University, and his working title is Heritage Sensitive Land Use Planning for Post-Conflict Recovery in the case of Nejashi Mosque Precinct. And I will directly go to him, and so he can share his slide. Semere.
Hello.
Okay.
May I continue?
Yes. Can you share your slide?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Please continue.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Semere, and I am master student in urban planning and development in Mekelle University, and today I will be presenting my research proposal, which is entitled Heritage Sensitive Land Use Planning for Post-Conflict Recovery. My research focuses specifically on the Nejashi Mosque Precinct, and it explores how the land use planning can support recovery while protecting the heritage value. Al-Najashi Mosque is not only a religious site or a religious place, it is one of the earliest Islamic heritage sites in Africa, and it holds a deep historical, spiritual, and cultural significance. And it's located in northern Ethiopia, Tigray region in the eastern zone. As we know, during the post-conflict areas face complex challenges. There is physical destruction, informal rebuilding, land disputes, and pressure for rapid development. And following the Tigray conflict, the site directly physical damage occurred on the site in December 2020, and this leads to looting and structural damage. Following the conflict, restoration work were carried out by the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency, TICA, which the company was also the one who was restored in that site on, I think, on 2019 or 2018. The intervention included the repair of the tombstone, the reconstruction of the mosque minaret, and the rehabilitation of damaged walls as well, and the restoration of wooded structural elements. Despite the successful architectural restoration, its precinct faces threats from informal housing, new infrastructure, and challenge to the vernacular settlement patterns, and the lack of effective land use planning controls. There is no defined buffer zone, building height control, and there is no also land use zoning. And this result, there is risk of incompatible land use, loss of heritage characters, and weak enforcement, and long-term spatial conflicts. According to the UNESCO, sustainable urban recovery requires integrating the cultural value into spatial planning rather than treating the heritage as isolated monument. But the restoration work was only on the heritage site. It leaves the surrounding of the neighborhood as it is. Therefore, a structured heritage-sensitive land use planning framework is needed to the site. My main research question is how can heritage-sensitive land use planning framework guide the post-conflict recovery and manage development pressure in the Nejashi Mosque Precinct? And also, my study is guided by three questions as well. The first one is, what spatial changes and conflicts have occurred in the precinct between 2020 and 2024, the pre and the post-conflict time? How do heritage values, community priorities, and Ethiopian planning law influence the acceptable land use regulation, the second one? And the final one is, what heritage-sensitive zoning framework can balance the protection, the feasibility, the implementation, and the enforcement capacity? And the main objective of the study is to develop a heritage-sensitive land use planning framework to guide the post-conflict recovery and sustainable development around the Nejashi Mosque Precinct. And specifically, the study also aims to conduct pre and post spatial comparison, map of land use and settlement density, and to assess visual viewshed and visual intrusion, and to identify heritage-sensitive zones, and to prepare zoning overlay and buffer zone regulations. And also, we can see significance of the study. It has a significant role in academic and practical and in policy. Academic, it links the heritage value with the land use planning. Practical, it provides a planning guideline for local authorities. And policy-wise, it supports the heritage integration with in the post-conflict planning system. When we came to the scope of the study, the thematic scope, in the thematic scope, in the section of land use and spatial regulation, the study examines the existing land use patterns, post-conflict changes in built-up areas, development pressure within the Mosque Precinct, and in the zoning and development control framework. It includes the core buffer and management of influence zones, heat control and skyline protection, basic density considerations, watershed protection, and development restriction guidelines. And in the legal and institutional feasibility, the study evaluates the compatibility with the basic plan requirement for level 3 town, since Al-Nejashi is the weekend level on the level 3 towns, or how we call it locally. And implementation capacity or at the municipal level. It also evaluates the enforcement capacity. When we came to the spatial scope, the spatial scope is defined based on the heritage landscape logic rather than the only administrative boundaries, because our goal is to provide a framework for the heritage sensitive land use. It's better to use the landscape logic rather than the administrative boundaries. And the study area is organized into 3 spatial layers: core zone, buffer zone, and the management of the planning influence area. In the core zone includes the Al-Nejashi Mosque building, the tomb structures, immediate courtyards, and burial grounds, and with the landscape elements. And its spatial delimitation is approximately 100 meter radius. The buffer zone includes surrounding vernacular residential settlements, immediate commercial activities, circulation routes approach to the mosque, and areas that can affect the visual integrity and the skyline. And its spatial delimitations is approximately 300 meter radius. And finally, the management of the influence area. It includes the border settlement expansion areas, the urban-rural interface, and the areas that are influencing the future development pressures. And its delimitations are approximately around 500 meter radius. The study adopts a mixed design approach, integrating the qualitative, spatial analysis, and quantitative way to develop the heritage sensitive land use planning framework. In a quantitative approach, there are satellite imagery, existing land use maps, and planning policy documents, and from HeritageScapes spatial documentations. And the quantitative method is household within the buffer zone and management zones, and municipal planning officials, heritage authority representative, and religious leaders. Our conceptual framework, the study conceptualizes heritage sensitive land use planning as a process-oriented regulatory system. And related stages. One is the spatial analysis, heritage sensitive assessment.
Can you fix the audio? It's a little interrupted. It had some wind.
Okay.
Maybe get a bit closer. Okay. Continue.
The framework is, I was saying, the framework is structured in four sequential and interrelated stages. One is the spatial analysis, two, heritage sensitive assessment, institutional community alignment, and framework formulation. And finally, to the output is heritage sensitive land use planning framework, and the outputs are here also. From the stage one, the output is conflict maps. From stage two, sensitivity zoning map, accessibility and feasibility criteria from stage three, and from the final stage, the zoning and control guidelines, and the expected outcomes from the studies are pre and post-conflict spatial change assessment, spatial conflict maps, viewshed and visual intrusion analysis, heritage sensitivity zoning map, core buffer zone and management zoning overlay, heritage sensitive development control guidelines, and criteria-based evaluation matrix, and finally, the heritage sensitive land use planning framework. In conclusion, the post-conflict recovery is not only about the rebuilding structures, it's about rebuilding identity, memory, and spatial order. Heritage-sensitive land use planning offers a way to protect the past and while guiding the future. And finally, the study provides replicable planning model framework for the post-conflict context in the given site. And thank you. I welcome your comments and feedback.
Thank you so much, Semere. Since this is the proposal stage, I think.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a comment? Or if you...
I have a question.
Yeah. Mahatot, please continue.
Okay. Is this like the initial phase of your research?
I continue.
Is this the initial phase of your research? Initial phase.
Can't hear me, Alula. I didn't.
Is this the initial phase of your research? She's asking you.
Yeah, it's a proposal stage.
Oh, okay. Oh, what is your timeline?
Okay, my timeline is around 6 months.
6 months. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mahatot.
May I speak, Alex?
Yes, Gidey, please. Also, maybe you can also introduce each other because it's not a very large room. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a really nice presentation, Semere. Congratulations on your project. I'm Gidey. I'm a PhD student at Warsaw University in Poland in archaeology. I have one question. Maybe it is a question or it is a kind of comment. I don't know. But I would appreciate hearing more about your collaborative work with the local and international organizations as well as the local authorities. If I may misunderstood, as you know, there are already ongoing archaeological research initiatives in the area, and the new discoveries have also recently been announced on different platforms, on social media, on National Geographic, and other related things. So, given this context, how do you plan to coordinate your project with your existing research efforts? Because this area, it is, as you mentioned yourself, it is not only a religious center, but it is also a historical value. Began 7th century, 7th century up towards to present day, a lot of things has had been happened. So, do you have any plan to coordinate or to collaborate with those existing international archaeology projects? For example, with the University of Warsaw, as Alex knows, and everybody knows, in 2025, the project has been launched. So, do you have any plan to collaborate with the kind of projects? One. And the second thing, you mentioned about TIKA, or this Turkish conservation activities. And how did you approach them? Do you have any plan to approach them? Either do you have like direct contact with them, or you will use these local authorities like TCTV, Tigray Culture and Tourism Bureau, or University of Mekelle, or like this Ethiopian Heritage Authority? So I would be glad to hear about your cooperation projects. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Gidey. May I continue? Alula?
Yes, please continue. Yeah.
Of course, I'm planning to collaborate with the archaeological crew, but I will take it as like since I didn't have a clear plan or how to collaborate with them. But yeah, I have a plan, and I will try to make it clear. How can I contact or how can I work with them? And the second one is, for now, I didn't have a direct contact with TIKA or other. The others. Thank you.
Yeah. I think Gidey, since you're also in Warsaw University, he can also be as one contact point. I think I have mentioned this to you earlier, right, Semere, with the archaeological work in Nejashi from Warsaw, and they already have big initial findings. The news was recently in the National Geography of Polish, which they say they might have found some of the earlier mosque typologies. So this will be important. And we also have our documentation of the sites, which you can coordinate with this one. But these ones are relevant. Biniam, I would please continue.
Hello, everyone. So I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Biniam, and I'm working as an academic assistant in this project, in the Tigray HeritageScapes Restoration Initiative project. So my question is, actually I have two questions for you, Semere. So more specifically, my question is why land use planning and not urban planning or urban design, maybe? It seems to me the scope of your study area is smaller. So for a land use, I think it might I don't know the scope to what extent you can do like in the preparation of the heritage sensitive urban planning, whether it's a framework or a kind of guideline or toolkit or something. So how are you planning, or how are you thinking on managing that? And the second one is, this is also connected with your scope in study area. You know, there is a nearby location, the Amanir Mago Church, which is in close proximity to Nejashi. So do you have any plans in kind of to create some either comparative analysis or maybe to include it in your planning area or something? Maybe I was thinking, since your approach is to use land use urban planning, so you might think of making the at least in planning perspective, not in action area, but in planning area, to make the scope larger. So I don't know, what do you think about these issues? Thank you.
Okay. The first, I think my scope is to provide a guideline and framework for the land use planning. And yeah, I'm also thinking to include in my planning area the Aman Mago, since it's also it's a heritage site, and it also expresses the diversity. And I think I'm planning to include in my planning area.
Okay.
Okay,
Is it
Alex.
okay, Binyam? You have a follow-up question?
Yeah, one more comment for Semere
Yes.
regarding this Nejashi project. I think it is better to take it to your account about this land use planning and urban management, because researching an Islamic heritage site like Nejashi and other sites in Tigray through the lens of land use planning is not only possible, but it is also very, very important, very necessary. So Nejashi, as you all we know, Nejashi is a living sacred landscape, not only a museum. And that means any planning research must respect its religious significance while addressing the real treasures. If you remember recently, Alex, there was like confusion between the followers, our Muslim brothers and sister followers, and also the other side. There was like a conflict of interest, because after we released this international archaeology project, the research at National Geographic, there was like just claiming a lot of things by the other side, especially by our Muslim brothers and sisters. So in this case, when you plan to do your research in this area, first you have to collaborate with the local religious institutions, especially with this Nejashi area. Of course, you may have the knowledge how to do your own research and how to collaborate with those local communities. But the first and the most important thing is you should collaborate and contact these Islamic offices, or like the Sharia office, because this is the settlement growth, the tourism, the infrastructure needed, and also the heritage production. Everything is not only on the hand of the government, but also on the hand of those who have interest to protect this site. So you should collaborate with them, first thing. My second thing is, as Binyam mentioned before, there are to balance this conflict of interest, you should also include this Mariam Kadeh archaeometallurgical site and also this Amanir Ma'go, because this site is surrounded by these Christian Orthodox churches, and this is in the middle. So you can make the balance, and it will be easily to get and to penetrate and to do whatever you want. And you mentioned it on your Facebook. So this is what I have for just as a comment. I know you may include it or you may not speak it here, but it's better to take it to your account. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gidey. This is more comment, I think, Semere.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ali, if
Yes.
you
Yeah,
gave me a
yeah,
chance
please.
for a follow-up question, I guess.
Yes, please continue.
Yeah, so my first question was about like if your idea is to approach it in land use planning, my fear is that you won't have much to do because the scope of your study area is smaller in area, I mean, like 100 meters square or something like that. So what you'll come up at the end is to delegate some areas for this function, and things like that, and then that will be the end of it. So you'll not go into detail like to like in your conceptual framework you mentioned about spatial conflict and things like that. So you won't have the opportunity to resolve or to kind of give solution to that. So that was my kind of comment. So maybe to think about in the when you're doing your research. So just to give clarity. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to reflect on this one, Semere?
I'll take it as a comment, and
Yes.
next time we'll consider it.
Yes, I think this is a relevant comment. Given the area, this is an emerging town, level 3, right? Nejashi, so you have to think about, but with big projects or something like we all hear rumors of large projects and developments, but we don't know how the landscape shifts. So this is more kind of preemptive planning on what to do and to follow up as a research. Yeah. Thank you, Semere, for your presentation. And so we have we defined what heritage sensitive land use mean? Until the next presenter prepares, maybe you can reflect on the question from the chat. Have you defined what heritage sensitive land use mean as a definition?
Okay. Yeah, I defined what heritage sensitive.
Are you speaking, Semere? Your sound is not working.
Partner.
Okay, yes. Are you speaking?
The question was, are you defining the heritage sensitivity of what it is?
Yeah, he's asking you for the definition of your title, heritage sensitive land use.
Okay, it refers to the integrating the cultural value consideration into land use regulations and development control system. Unlike since it's not only the heritage and it includes the heritage and its surroundings. So the heritage sensitive planning refers to the integrating the cultural value considerations into the land use regulations and development control system.
Okay, thank you, Samara. Since you are in the beginning of your research, good luck with coming. We look forward again to hear from you again when your research is completed or when it's in advanced stage. Next, we go to some of our presenters has technical problems, so you might not follow this order exactly. Alula, would you like to continue? Alula or Kibrom, whoever is ready. Alula, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You want to continue or can you
Okay.
start now?
Okay, I can continue.
Okay, so I will please share your slide and.
Okay, I'll share my slide. Is it okay if I turn off my video? I'm not
Yes,
in a
yes.
comfortable position,
problem.
so okay.
No problem. So Kibrom, maybe you'll be ready if Tsigab and Melak then come, will continue to you. Okay, after Alula. Kibrom, you are here, yeah?
Okay. Is it sharing? Okay.
Yes, please make it full screen.
Okay. How about now?
Yes, okay. Alula is my Mogshe. He is from urban planning and development master student. He's also at the beginning of his research. So his working title is Heritage-led Urban Regeneration, case of Emperor Yohannes Palace in Agulae town. So please continue, Alula.
Okay. First, as we can see in our cover page, I've tried to like create a brand for this research, like that signifies the Imperial Yohannes Palace. So like the color scheme is like it relates to the the it relates to the historical like characteristics of the building. So that's what I've tried to create here. So we have created a logo for it. Uh, uh, we have taken it from the like arches, like from the top. Like it signifies like the castle. It represents as Emperor Johannes' castle, and I've tried to create a pattern so it goes smoothly throughout the presentation. And like if all goes well, it will help us on creating a brand for a museum or some other projects. So first, uh, 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 urban regeneration integrates cultural heritage with sustainable development. So when we talk about heritage and urban planning, they both go together. When we try to like when we try to regenerate urban areas which have sorry if I'm stuttering. Uh, when we try to regenerate urban areas that has like a heritage site uh, that has an heritage site in its location, uh, we have to consider in our urban planning in our we have to like create we have to create checkpoints that can include our heritage site when we are trying to when we are doing an urban planning or creating a plan for a town. So Emperor Yohannes' palace was built in around 19th centuries, which was a key historical landmark in Tigray. So the palace and surrounding town mostly suffer from physical deterioration, economic stagnation, and limited planning integration, uh, as all other towns in Tigray suffer from. So heritage-led regeneration can transform such sites into engines of local development and identity through their through their heritage through their heritage power through the historical uh, powers that they have. So our statement of problem: the palace is underutilized and lack conservation management. Urban infrastructure and services in our Agulae town are inadequate to support our heritage site and uh, the town as a whole. So weak linkages between cultural heritage conservation and urban planning, as I was saying earlier. Minimal community participation and limited institutional coordination. Uh, without integrated regeneration, both cultural and economic decline, both the cultural and economic decline will continue. So if both in a town which is mostly known for its cultural or for its heritage site, if we do not try to conserve our heritage, the heritage. If we do not try to conserve the heritage site, it will deteriorate the town will the town's function will also deteriorate if we don't try to if we don't try to conserve our heritage site, the town also will also deteriorate. So our research aim and objectives are to investigate how heritage-led regeneration of Emperor Johannes's palace can contribute to sustainable urban revitalization and community development in the Agulae town. So our objectives are to document the historical, architectural, and cultural significance of the palace, to assess the physical condition and conservation challenges, to analyze the spatial and socio-economic contexts using not only GIS, other softwares too, to examine stakeholder perceptions and participations, to propose an integrated heritage regeneration strategy. When we go to our research questions, what are the key heritage values associated with Emperor Johannes's palace? So we'll try to find these out. What is the current physical, social, and spatial conditions of the site? How do stakeholders perceive and participate in the heritage-led regeneration? What strategies can link heritage conservation with the urban development? Like as I was repeating it from earlier, heritage our heritage conservation goes hand in hand with urban development. So when we try to develop an urban area, we have to consider our heritage sites. When we try to conserve a heritage site, we also have to consider about the surrounding areas, because it might have a clashback. The surrounding area might clash, might have might create a clash between the heritage site. So how can these strategies be institutionalized in a local planning? So we'll try to answer these questions. So our significance of the study is so in academic angle, it contributes to the research on heritage-led urban regeneration in Ethiopia and Tigray, also in Agulae as a local policy. In a policy perspective, it supports integration of heritage management and urban planning into Tigray. In social perspective, it enhances local participation and ownership in regeneration projects. Agulae communities will feel more responsible for the uh, for, for, uh, for the site we are trying to study. When we see an economic angle, it promotes sustainable tourism and job creation. So if all goes well, we'll try this. It will promote Agulae at Yohannes Palace also. So this it aligns with there is a policy, sustainable cities and communities. Sorry, like if I'm wrong with the abbreviation, but it will also align with the policies. So so when we look at our conceptual framework, we have prepared. I have prepared a diagram here. So heritage conservation includes like preservation, adaptive reuse,
You have
and
5 more
cultural.
minutes, just a reminder. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, sorry. So a framework in our framework integrates 3 interrelated domains, which are heritage conservation, urban regeneration, and community participation. So when we try to join all these 3, we'll have a sustainable urban development. So uh, so this is what we're trying to accomplish. We'll have I have this research methods, which is a study as area is Agulae town. So we'll try to collect qualitative, quantitative, and spatial data. Our sources will be archival materials, field surveys, interviews, questionnaires, and uh, uh, more geographic data, digital data, which we will use in GIS, AutoCAD, and other. Uh, so uh, it will be. We'll have an ethics. Sorry if I skip that. So I've laid out the GIS workflows here. As professionals, we all know these steps. Like we'll georeference our data, digitize all the existing buildings. We'll analyze. So create which will help us in defining suitability for the site. So expected results and deliverables are like documentation of palace condition and heritage value, GIS maps illustrating land uses, access, and conservation zones, stakeholder and community participation assessment, heritage regeneration strategy for Agulae town, and policy recommendations uh, for the stakeholders. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was mute, so I was just talking. Thank you, Alula. And does anyone want to reflect on this? Do you? I think this is just the beginning of the work, and it's also not very common to see logo for thesis. Unless you have a project, if you're thinking as a project. But since you are talking about regeneration, do you have an idea of what kind of regeneration model you have in mind? Is it like tourism-led, or is it like some sort of adaptive reuse into community service, cultural center, or any mixed use kind of thing?
So, what I have in mind is like trying to create an iconic iconic landmark like which people go to. So it will include the Agulae town people, not only the heritage site. So it will what I'm trying to create here is like, analyze what we have and try to create. Sorry, like I'm not good at like in this describing in English. So, but what I'm trying to create here is uh, a site like a heritage site, not which not only involves the site only, but it also includes the community that are in Agulae. So when we try to analyze the issue, which is in the site, but when we try to, after analyzing, when we try to solve those issues, we are only not only like the planning. The planning area is not only the site; it's also Agulae town. That's what I'm trying to describe. So so I'm trying to create an economic, trying to create jobs after I'm done here. So,
Yes, but okay, good. So more you are thinking like in a project sense, or since this is more kind of research thesis, you have to push it a little bit into research, I think, because all the things you are promising or think are not things you would usually expect to do within like a scope of master's thesis. Yeah, so you have to keep focus on what you want to identify, and then what you priority interventions also you recommend. And also you need to understand clearly what you mean when you say like Agulae community, where you're talking about the church, talking about who owns the building, and also the local administration you have. But also the word regeneration that you have used has a more negative connotation, more historically, because it has this idea of gentrification, which might exclude the local users. And so you have also to be careful with what you mean with regeneration, because the experiences with that one also you have to clearly define, and you have to talk what you are about to do with your research. Anyone has comment on this or questions? So or okay. So thank you so much.
I have one question, Alex.
Okay, Gidey. Until then, Tsigab, can you get ready? We will go next to you. Yeah, please continue, Gidey.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, second Alex. It was a really impressive and a nice presentation. I hope you will come up with a very nice outcome. So what I want to ask you is, how does the Agulae Palace compare to the other heritage-led regeneration cases in Ethiopia, particularly in the Tigray case? This means like evidence based on the comparison of the Agulae Palace, like as you mentioned, the Imperial Force Palace, with the other heritage-led regeneration cases in Ethiopia, drawing from availability of like this research or review literatures and broader heritage regeneration frameworks. So how does the Agulae Palace compare to other heritage regeneration? Do you have any assessment before that has been linking in such kind of doing research in Ethiopia, particularly in Tigray, since your focus is in Agulae, and there are some sites have been studied by different scholars, national-wide and internationally. And of course, Agulae is not only also the destination of this palace, as Dr. Alula put on his website and YouTube. There are different tourism attractions in this Agulae. So how do you integrate also with them? And the third thing, it might be linked with this. Also, how do you approach the local communities and the institutions, the local authorities, and also including this Tigray culture and tourism and the Warada level and the church and the administrations, because there are a lot of bureaucracies, and it is, of course, as you mentioned before, it is totally neglected. So how do you improve and how do you approach those things is my question. Thank you. And sorry for my voice. I am a little bit, Alex knows the details, so thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gidey. Allah, would you like to reflect?
Okay, yeah, sorry. Like, I got the last question. How are you going to connect to the, how are you going to communicate to the stakeholders? That was the question, yeah? The last one?
Right.
Yeah. Sorry if I didn't get the first and second question. Sorry.
Yeah, quickly reply that one, and then you can go back to the other questions.
Okay. Okay. So, the first thing, the first step is on site. Going on site. It's going to be hard, like, as we all know, the conditions, how the bureaucracy is integrated. But like, I'll try to go office to office in person. Try to. I've had projects that relate to Tigray, like tourism bureau. So I think the mutual connections will help me in this project. With the community, it's going to be. I know it's going to be tough, but we'll work on it.
Yeah, thank you, Alula. Just to remind you, the best option and the best way to do this research is first have to have this community-led based research methodology. After that, it will be easy because there are many research have been started and failed because of this of institution failure or just bureaucratic. But if you come up with a community-based, and I think it will be easy for you because since I'm an archaeologist and I have been working for more than 10 years and I have these experiences, even if I'm working for Tigray Culture and Tourism Bureau. So it is the best way is just to have and to discuss first with the communities and go to this public authorities, local authorities like tourism office in the local areas and also in the regional areas as well as in the Ethiopian heritage authorities. So the best and easy way is to go through this all. And the second thing is, as I mentioned about this availability of resources, not in Agulae, there are plenty of heritage sites. For example, in the Cherkos Agulae, there is huge uninvestigated archaeological site, which is typically 5th, 6th century Aksumite architecture. Nobody has been studied that except the simple documentation by Decontency and later on by Professor Tahl Hagos. And of course, as Tigray Culture and Tourism, there has been like simple documentation systems, but no detailed researches. So as you are planning to do on Yohannes Force Palace in Agulae, I should integrate your research also with this kind of research areas, with this Charkos Agulae, and also there are, I think, Alex will help me. There are like indigenous vernacular architectural houses in this Agulae area, not yet documented, except Alex, the one who has documented them, but never been studied, never been documented before. So you should integrate with such kind of things, and your research will be, of course, it will be a little bit wider, but you can squeeze and make like very nice documentation in addition to this palace and also the archaeological sites, then vernacular house. Then it will be a good result in regenerating of this economic value in tourism, in heritage sustainability, in different aspects. So this is my comment. Thank you, Alex. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Gidey. Yes, these are really important remarks. Alula, you have to still to work on your methodology. You have to make it clear. There are tools, methodologies you can use even in such contexts, in difficult contexts. There are still research methodologies how to handle these issues. You have to do more research on literature and site visit, and also reaching out to stakeholders. Since you are just beginning of your research, take this feedbacks seriously, and then we have to see your work mature again. And Gidey, you have mentioned very valid point. At least in Agulae, we have different students trying to look the site from different sides, from urban planning and study of specific buildings from different disciplines. So I think we will have a whole picture when we collect these researches together as a compendium, I think. So next, I will go to either Tsigab or Kibrom. Who is more ready to go? Tsigab or Kibrom?
I can go.
Okay, thank you, Tsigab. You can share your slide.
Okay.
Tsigab is lecturer of fine arts in Mekelle University. He's also doing his master's in anthropology. His research is almost completed. So basically, he started with Jalakot, but it was a very complex, difficult time. So quickly he did research in Mekelle. But in his presentation, he will do also look into both sites. He will talk about the impact of the Tigray war on indigenous creative industries of pottery, basketry, and embroidery in Jalakot, and I hope in Mekelle, especially the open market at the Haki as well. Yeah, this will be interesting to look into because he's an artist and a biologist as well. Yeah, Tsigab. He's has several professions. Can you share your screen?
Yes.
So we have 15 minutes, and then we will go to discussion.
Can you see it, Doctor?
Yes, please continue.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tsigab. Today, I will present you on particularly on what I'm doing in Jalakot village. So last time I presented the proposal on the impact of Tigray war on indigenous creative industries or traditional industries of handicrafts, particularly of basketry and embroidery in Choloot village. Now I will present you some things, the progress that I'm doing there. Okay, my research focuses on assessing the impact of Tigray war on the indigenous creative industries of particularly basketry and embroidery and pottery. If I add pottery, I think it's going to be very vast, but I will try my best to include it. But when I see it, it will be very vast, and I haven't decided to include that. If I can manage it, I will also include the pottery part. But for the time being, I am collecting my data on basketry and the embroidery handicrafts. So my research question is, my research asks, what are the indigenous knowledge, the skills, and the materials that are employed by the artisans of the village? It also asks what is the impact of the war on the artisans' overall life, economic, social, and psychological aspects of their lives, and the impact of the war on the transmission of the indigenous wisdom or the knowledge from the next generation, from the older generation to the young generation, and what potential indigenous post-war resilience strategies that can contribute to post-war economic recovery can we find? So my research focuses to answer these 4 questions. So the methodology that I employ are ethnographic approaches. So I am using in-depth interviews, especially to the main informantes, the basket makers, and the embroiderers, and also focus group discussion. To study, to find out the impact of the war on the livelihoods, on the transmission of the indigenous knowledge system in the creative community, and also to study the resilience strategies they use it during the war, and also in key informant interview. I am also employing this approach, especially on the experienced artisans, because they know deep knowledge and they have experience for a long time, and also the leaders of the community and other key informantes. And also I will use non-participatory observation. I will be visiting their working spaces or workshops, and also the market. And also I will use case studies, how the war impacted the lives of the artisans, their social, economic, religious, and emotional aspects of their life, and how it impacted their profession, and also their personal challenges and stories will be studied through the case studies. And also I will use secondary resources to just compare how it was before the war and during the war and after the war also. So the progress that I have gone so far, I have made 3 trips to the village. So on the first day, as an anthropologist does, I have to visit the place. I have to the market, collect information, ask people, meet people. That was what I did in the first day. That was observation day, and I just went alone, and I only just took pictures of some places, and I was trying to talk to people, at different places to know something about the village, because I didn't expect the village was such a bigger village. I thought it had a, I knew it so many years ago, so it has a, now it's bigger village. On my trip too, I went with a friend, and we were trying to make rapport or to make trust with the people, because an anthropologist has to engage, has to be trusted by the people to get true information and collaboration from the people. So we were trying to make a rapport or connection with the people in the market. The artisans come with what they have, with their artworks, handcrafters to the market, and we were asking them, we asked them who is the skilled craft person in the village, an embroiderer, and also a basket maker. We were asking such things, and we have met some people through references, through snowball mechanism. And also we met some youth. On my trip 3, on day 3, me and my friend just made our first interview with a very skilled and very famous embroiderer in the village, and a very skilled person anyways, a very skilled and a very experienced woman we met, and a very important person also. So we made our first interview with this embroiderer, and also our first interview also with a basket maker. So she's very important. She's a young woman, and we made our first interview, and that's not the last, but it was just part of the whole in-depth interview. It's not very in-depth because we cannot finish it on one day. We will have to just get back another day also. And I faced some challenges that I didn't expect, and many of the women, because these handicrafts are, gender specific, they are made by women, older and younger. So many women don't have phone number. So I have to call their husbands, and that's I think a challenge. Can you ask your wife that I'm coming next week? Such kind of thing. That's not an easy thing to do. Of course, the people are very cooperative, but that's one challenge. And many just thought as if we are NGO, and many people were just approaching us that I can also do this, I can also do this. My mother also, makes a basket, and they just, they just saw us as people who came to just support or to assist them. There was some misunderstanding, especially with some basket makers. So we have to be careful about that. And we have to be, stick to our methodology. And we have found out a variety of informants also. Very older people experience it, like this mother that you're watching here. This mother is taking these raw materials of basketry to her daughter. She used to make one also. So we have many kinds of basket makers, for example, older and middle age and younger also. So we need to adjust our for the first objective, for example, I need to just focus on the old mothers and active makers and sailors, those who are very skilled and very deep into the profession, who are producing so many handicrafts and selling them to the suburbs and also to the city of Mekelle, Ta'ad Haqi, because to find out, the indigenous knowledge deeply. I get it from the older mothers and also from those people who are very active in the business. And also this made me adjust my methodology. For example, in my objective 2, to find out the impact on livelihood and the psychology of the people, I have to focus on the active makers and sailors, artisans. And on my objective 3 also, I have to focus on the objective of how the war impacted transmission of knowledge from generation to generation. I have to just focus on the older mothers and young daughters. Also on the 4th, on the resilience strategy, I have to make on the active makers and sailors because I have to understand how they manage it to continue or what way they use it to just make it on the bad days. So it made me, revise on the how to take care of on my methodology. This is how I just I'm dealing with the challenges I face it. On the timeline, so now it's February, and I believe I will finish collecting data of basketry and embroidery, both of them, on March. And I believe I will make the data analysis and interpretation on the same month, and the first review of supervisor also on the same month, on March. And my final review will be on April, and the submission to HeritageScapes initiative for a feedback will be on April, and I hope the final submission will also be on April. So thank you so much. This is the progress that I have made so far. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you so much. That's really interesting presentation. While you have a few minutes, 2-3 minutes more, can you tell us about your insight from the other side, the main findings you get and the insights?
Do you mean at the Haqiqa marketplace?
Yes.
Or?
Yes.
To reflect on that findings, at Haqqi marketplace is a very hot and it's a center of many handcrafters, and I have found out that the handcrafters are brought from many different places, from mainly 4 places. Some are brought from Addis. So those who are brought from Addis are made by other ethnic groups that live in Addis and around Addis, and also away from Addis. So they don't particularly reflect the indigenous knowledge of Tigrayans. They are commercial purposed, and they just are very agile with the business. There is more creativity and there is more experimentation with materials. They can innovate or add some materials that are not very traditional, and they don't reflect so much about Tigrayan indigenous knowledge. The other group of handicrafts that are brought from Adigrat are known for their variety, and for their massive amounts. There is a lot of production from around Adigrat and from around Wukro, Asbi, and Hausen. These have similarities of design and similarities of materials used, and they have high productivity. They are known by their numbers and variety. And the other groups are brought from Ndarta and around. For example, from Hagar Salam. Those brought from Hagar Salam are also, they have this also from Mekelle included. When I say Mekelle and suburbs, Mekelle included. These handicrafts, for example, I'm particularly talking about the basketry. Those baskets are known for their durability, and they are more, pricely than those group of handicrafts that are brought from Adigrat or Hausen, because they are used, leather for finishing. Leather is, very durable, and also, especially the Gibabo are very known for their durability here. And there are also another group of baskets that are brought from Aksum and very colorful, and they are made with threads, with specific threads. We also call it Rekiamo or Kr or Fatli. Very colorful. Their design is amazing. They are catchy and attractive to the eye, and some of them are very costly, very costly, like the Masob work, the Masob, the bigger one. And I have, so these are in terms of their place of origin, in terms of their place of origin, from Aksum, from Mekelle and suburbs, and also from the eastern Tigray and from Addis Ababa. These are the main groups in terms of where they come from. And also, when we see the process, there is a, a process also. So when we come to the purpose for which these basketries are employed, they are used for religious purposes, for social purposes. They also reflect, religion. Many of the Aksum Masobas also have this common design that is the flag of Ethiopia. It doesn't seem to have it when you just see it from afar, but when you see it closely, that is their common symbol. And because one of my informants told me that the Ethiopian flag is connected with the Zion of Aksum, and it's just a kind of a symbol of promise and a symbol of Saint Mary kind of thing. So still, even during the war, the Ethiopian flag was there. That is very fascinating, and there are a lot of designers also in all of them. When we come to the embroidery, the embroidery seems to evolve with time. Many embroidery designers do have a particular name that name is given based on the time, based on the political and social event of the time. So they appear to reflect the political and social situation or condition of the country. For example, there is this what's called salam. Salam is a design called salam. It is made during the war because people wishes salam. First, they named it TDF, and that very design is also called salam because people wish it salam. Takasta has this design also, salam. You can ask him. Um, there is Queen Sheba, King Solomon, very classical and timeless and very famous designers, also called King Solomon and Queen Sheba, also exist all the time. Just the classic ones. They are designers with the faces of people, a queen and a king kind of designs on the main panel, on the front panel of especially on the women dresses. So if you see those faces, they are called King Solomon, if a man, or Queen Sheba. So this reflects our history. It reflects our identity and history also. So our clothes are not just simply clothes. This embroidery also speaks history and identity, and also people's wishes. There is also something called Wazam, Obama kind of thing. Wazam means beautiful, and Obama is it just appeared during Obama, and there is also another designs which are connected with Ethiopia war also. So I have understood that embroidery in our country is not just only beauty. It just reflects identity, history, and wishes, or a kind of self-expression of the people. The heartfelt feeling of the people. So, it's something very expressive and very amazing. This
So
is
let's,
what I remember from what I have
thank you.
done in Adhaki, Doctor.
With interest of time, let's have if there are questions and reflections.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the interesting presentation, and
Thanks.
others also can see how they can connect this one, because we are pushing for a landscape approach, which means to connect all these different disciplines and then different subjects, and trying to see the heritage as a whole, as a whole unit. Anyone has a question or reflection on this one? Okay, I think we can move on to the next one. Thank you so much. Yeah.
It's like, thank you, Tsigab, for your nice presentation. I really appreciate your research methodology and the way you grasp your way. I really appreciate. But
Thanks.
is this like a kind of ethnographic research, or it is ethnoarchaeological research? Because I know it's like it's a mixing for me, because I see some ethnographic approaches, also ethno-archaeological approaches. If you add also this, as you mentioned in the beginning, if you add like this pottery making and analysis, I know one person who's been working in Gambela and also in the Debri area, Kibrom Kabeda, one of the staff Mekelle University. He did his master's thesis on pottery making. So how do you collaborate? So you are just directly shifting to ethno-archaeological study or ethnographic study? Which approach are you using? Sorry, just maybe if you may explain, if I may miss your speech. Sorry for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is it Bini? Is it Bini? Biniam, is that you?
No, that was from Gidey.
Okay, Gidey. Nice to meet you, Gidey.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Thank you. My research is most just ethnographic research. It's just documenting the intangible heritages of that particular village, and to see how the war impacted those handicrafters, because many people depend economically on these handicrafters. And first of all, we have to document those intangible heritages as much as possible. And also, we have to know how much the war impacted those artisans, those handicraft makers in different aspects of their life, including how they produced, how they created, and how their economy, and how they were employing these handicrafters to pass the day, and also to find out how we can support these creative industries to blossom, to develop them, how we can support them, and also understand how their resilience strategies, but also how to advise or to plan how we can support them, because the handicrafts reflect our traditional and indigenous knowledge of the people, because this initiative is trying to recover the material and non-material heritages of Tigray, and this my research is part of this intangible heritage recovery effort, and supporting these creative industries.
Okay, thank you, Tsigab. Thank you. It's really nice. But I have also one more question I forgot. I think it is this Inderta area is totally different and unique. This inboarding or mitlaf uh, cultural activity. So have you seen any comparison with southern Tigray, especially with this Raya, and especially in these highlands of Raya, like Dogwa, Alaje, and Maicho area or something? Have you seen any similarities and differences? Have you done anything just to make a comparative analysis?
I haven't yet. I haven't even fully studied the embroidery designs and the knowledge, and I'm just beginning it. And I haven't, my brother. I haven't yet.
Okay, thank you. So, if may, I found there is like one article written by Netherlands from the Leiden University. It is about embodiment. Sorry for my misspelling.
Embroidery, yes.
Yeah, embroidery. It's about this Eastern African, Northeastern African embroidery activity in the 19th century, what she was written about. So if I could find that, I read that like multiple years ago. So if I could find, it will be very supportive for your reference. I'm gonna share to Alex, and Alex, we can forward it to you. So thank you
Thank you
very
so much.
nice. It's really nice and very impressive. And it's also better to make not only for this master's level, but also for your future academic career and research interest. You should look the other areas in Tigray, especially as you mentioned in Agam area, in central zone, in Aksum area, and southern and in that areas. There are diverse, very diversified embodiment activities, also this pottery and other things, so we can help each other. So if you have any question, I'm here to support such kind of activities.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you
much,
so
Gidey.
much.
I will meet
Thank
you.
you so much, Gidey. Yes. Also, Tsigab. We look forward to full outcome of your research.
Thank
And
you,
also
Dr.
you can see the others working on Chalakot site also you can coordinate. And Kabada Amar is working his PhD there, ethnographic research. He did season-to-season documentation, actually. He lived there for 1 year to document. He rented a house and lived there. That is full participatory observation. He attended all festivals and everything. And we also try to document season to season how with more physical documentation. You can coordinate and work upon this research as well. So we look forward to see, what will
Thank you.
come out. Thank you so much. Next,
Thank
we
you,
have
Doctor. Thank you, everybody.
to go to Kibrom. Do you have a stable connection? Can you present now? Or
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, would you like to share
Okay.
your slide? Let me remove this one and I'm not showing anything. So anyway, I'm sharing. Next, we have Kibrom. He's in the urban planning and development master's program. He is in the final stage of his research, so we will see maybe more developed kind of research. He worked on the assessment of heritage conservation practices and their challenges in Agulae town. Okay. Thank you, Kibrom. Please continue with sharing your slide and your presentation. I'll give you 15 minutes and then we'll follow with the discussion. I'll give you a reminder when you're left with 5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor, and other colleagues. This is my
Can you
second.
share your slide?
Yeah. Sorry. Can I share again?
Yeah, it's not visible, so it's better you share.
Yeah. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, make it full screen, yeah. Yes, continue.
Okay. I am Kibrom Mallas. I'm attending my postgraduate class from Mekelle University on urban planning and development. My research title is Assessment of Heritage Conservation Practice and their challenges, and it is the case of Agulae town. This presentation is a full, almost for more or less the full work. It is from the proposal part up to the finding and the recommendation and conclusion. In the previous year, I have presented my research proposals. Then today, I will present the final thesis document. It of course is a draft final presentation. So when you see, I have the research or presentation outline is from the introduction. This is based on the university standard. I have the introduction is categorized under 8 titles: literature reviews, research methodology, and the result and the discussions or the analysis parts of the thesis. The final is based on the findings. The conclusion and recommendation is will be presented here. This is the introduction part. You know that Agulae is a small town in Tigray region in the northern Ethiopia, rich in heritage despite its limited tourism activities. Among it is a notable site is the former palace compound of Emperor Yohannes, which includes Hall and Imperial Residence buildings, Nejashi residential building, and other churches like Kidanamere Church and Chorkos are the most notable sites in the steady town. So in Ethiopia, there are policies and guidelines and regulations of heritage conservation in practice. However, the majority of the heritage attraction are not in a good condition, or they are in a poor status. Conservation when you see the statement of the problems, the major and the main bold problems that are notable on the site is it does not receive adequate attention from the local administration and the community. It also lacks proper maintenance and attractiveness of the existing heritage sites of in the town, and it lacks coordination among stakeholders to keep its originalities. There are lack of coordination among the stakeholders also. I have our objective is, general objective is to analyze the practice and challenges of urban heritage conservation, trends on heritage assets of the mentioned town. I have also specific objectives that are one is to assess the conservation practices and their challenges of heritage sites of this Agulae town. The second one is to examine the awareness level of the stakeholders of the study town regarding the heritage sites. And the third one is to assess the role of the previous town plan in safeguarding the existing heritage sites found in the town. So these urban planners, so I'm interested to how the previous plans of the town considers the heritage sites is my third objectives. I have now the hypothetical questions that are one is what are the conservation practices and their challenges of heritage sites in the study town. The second one is how is the community's awareness of the heritage asset of the town, and the third question is what are the possible urban planning interventions to safeguard the existing heritage sites are the questions that should be answered through this assessment. when you see the significance of the study, the main significance of this study is for fulfillment of master's degree in urban planning and development for the academic case. But this research also another important significance, like to provide an overview of the current status of the historic heritage sites, and also it would also try to identify the basic challenges that can be tackled to conserve the heritage sites. It has an important in identifying the problems and recommended possible solutions are another significance of this study. This study in general can help other researchers on related areas of the study to carry future studies after identifying the gaps that this study may have failed to address are among the significance of these studies. This study have scopes. One is it has also different scopes since it's limited with a time and duration. It has thematic scopes, spatial scopes, and temporal scopes. It is obvious. There are different limitations. From those limitations, the main are this study was faced lack of adequate literature on study trends of heritage conservation practice in the region or Ethiopian archaeology is a limitation of this study. And also lack of organized and reliable secondary source of data in the town due to the absence of proper documentation is the main limitations of this study. So to tackle or to overcome the problems, the researcher was forced to rely more on primary data gathering using questionnaires, interviews, and field observations. When you see the definition, the methodology of this study is starts from definitions of terms. This is the literature reviews so as to know or capture knowledge and experiences from different scholars and experiences in different countries. The researcher try to assess or review different documents like
you have 5 minutes, so it's better you move forward to more findings and yes, because people are familiar with these things.
When you see the methodology, this is already I have mentioned the locations of the town. I have research designs. The design should be the descriptive and explanatory research design is used in this document. The research approach is the qualitative and quantitative research approach was applied. The data source, it is obvious that primary and secondary data source with data source used to gather different informations. And the methodology history of data collection is questionnaires, interviews, and personal observation was applied. And the sampling probability and pervasive or judgmental sampling was used. The systematic random sampling is applied for the householders and the judgmental sampling or pervasive sampling is for the key informants. Our sample size is fixed using the formula which is called Kotari, based on the current population of the residents, that is 8,198 population were considered on this data collection. So based on this manipulation, 130 household was used to collect data from the entire residents. And those are the distributions of the key informants from different organizations, that is from town administration, municipality, Warada Culture and Tourism, Bureau of Culture and Tourism, religious leaders or community representatives. Those are totally 11 key informants incorporated in this data collection and absorbed or interviewed different informations. I have also followed the different research ethics. It's obvious that when we see the final analysis part, I've started from the background of the respondents. You know that age and sex distribution of respondents. So from this distribution format, the respondents were from all age groups. Thereby, the researcher concluded that reasonable number of households were participated during data collection and the martial status of respondents. Most of the respondents are married, so most married men and women are, I think, it is more responsible response takers for their actions. I don't mean that the married men and women is only responsible response takers, but in my perception, the married men and women are the responsible takers for their actions. When you see the educational background of the respondents, great number of respondents have been knowledgeable or ability how can manage heritage sites in their town. From this, as we have observed in this table, from literate from 1 to 8 up to the degree and above respondents. So great number of my respondents was they have a knowledge ability to how can manage the heritage sites. When we more than 63% of the residents have access or they have occupations, so therefore they can engage in maintaining historical sites. That is, we have a chance or opportunity to participate. The residents or the dwellers have a chance to participate or to mobilize in maintenance or in maintaining historical sites because they have occupations or in general they have incomes, their own incomes. When you see the respondent is historical living,
you have 1 minute to wrap up. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay. And when you see the current status of the heritage site, the Gebregziabher residence site building is found on a collapsed status, whereas the Emperor Yohannes Palace is already, they have defects and cracks, and the religious buildings like Kibrom Church have found in a good condition. This is what the current status of the heritage. When you see the practical practice of heritage conservation in the study town, as we have understand from my respondents, there was no an attempt of conservation on the historic sites of the study town, and there is no regular follow-up of the existing status of the conservation has not been made, and there was no traditional knowledge regarding the heritage conservation systems within the study town. Is the current practices that is practicing in the study town. When you see the awareness of the communities as well, not only the communities, but also the concerned organizations or experts, most of the residents, they know the site, but they don't have any awareness. And even there are some residents, even they didn't know the existence of the heritage sites. Even the key informants, informants reply that they don't have any idea about the rules and the regulations of conservation heritage assets. Yeah. When you see the heritage conservation challenges, there are different challenges. There was no an attempt of conservation on the historic sites of the state. Town is another. There is no regular follow-up, and there was no traditional knowledge. Okay, sorry, I come back. The main challenges I can summarize: lack of governmental concern and professional commitments, lack of proper management, monitoring and evaluation, lack of stakeholders involvement and insufficient funds, lack of community concern or is among the challenges that are facing during the practice of when we see the role of the urban planning on the previous plans in the study town. In urban area, heritage site being an integral element during plan preparation is obvious. From the assessment, more than almost 60% of the respondents replied that during the previous plan preparation, no one participated from their organization. It is lack of participation that means. Due to poor implementation of the designed plan, the heritage site is isolated from the rest of the neighborhood. And when you see the land use, the current land use plan of the town shows comprehensive zoning regulation can reinforce efforts to conserve of heritage sites. Through the land use preparation, the town, the historic building and site is recognized as museums and preserved. That is, the problem is not from the planning or from the preparation. Whereas the problem of when you see in planning perspective, rather than preparation, it has implementation problems. It has implementation problems. Whereas the plan, the existing plan, recognized the heritage sites as conserved or as museums. So it has no chance to violate. It keeps as it is. When you see the last chapter is the conclusion and recommendations. Based on the findings, well, I have concluded that the conservation of the activities was not based on the study and the conditions of historic and follow-ups are not provided for the sustainable conservation of the heritage in the state area. The enhancement of conservation practice and the sustainable use of heritage is not available. Generally, poor conservation practice of heritage and the insufficient commitment concerned bodies to conserve heritage sites aggravated by various man-made and natural factors demanded strong and instant solutions to the problems to reserve the existing heritage sites. In my recommendation, based on the findings and analysis, I have recommended that mobilizing professionals as well as governmental and non-governmental organization is very important. Creating awareness to the public at large and even the politician and the policymakers is very important. Awareness creation should be created to decision-makers also. Heritage conservation funds should be organized institutionally and come into practice to support the conservation efforts. There should be a mechanism and a plan to evaluate, follow up, and supervise the conservation status of heritage side by side with the activities of heritage inventory made each year is my recommendation. This is the recommendation by proposals or recommendation by design. As you have showed the map, the proposed main collector road near and adjacent to the heritage site should be treated by asphalt roads. The already shaded by black color should be made or treated by asphalt roads. The land use functions adjacent to the historic site is better suited if proposed, like interment parks, hotels, and restaurants. This adjustment should improve the significance of the heritage sites because of the adjacent compatible functions. This is by the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kibrom. Do anyone has a reflection or a question on this?
As usual, may I speak?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Kibrom. It's a really nice presentation, but I have one, two questions. If you are allowing me to ask you. My first question is, did you identify the heritage type in Agulae? And did you see the work of Alula Gebregziabher? Because you are doing the same area in Agulae, and he's focused on Yohannes IV Palace, and you are focusing in the entire Agulae. But did you make any documentation, any catalog system, any identification system belonging to those heritages who need this heritage conservation activities? Is number one. Number two, you categorized about this community awareness and the people who have this knowledge about they don't have the rule of regulations and knowledge, and they know about the site but they don't understand what does mean the site and the value of this heritage and the importance of this heritage. Also, lack of heritage conservation activities. How did you evaluate them? How did you evaluate them? What is your measurement methodology? And the other thing, if I'm correctly understanding your presentation, I heard that there is like scarcity or lack of secondary data resources. But have you seen like documents from Ethiopian Sustainable Tourism Development have been exercising and doing in Aksum, Lalibela, Gondar, Jimma, and the other part of our country? Because especially the one in Aksum, in Lalibela, in Gondar, it was like 10 or 11 years ago. It was a really nice document, and it's available also on, I think, online. So have you seen that? Did you took any lesson from it? And did you try to improve the heritage conservation activities in Agulae? And I think there is like a time limitation. I didn't hear you very well about this, your recommendation and your conclusion. But also, I have seen in your map, uh, you said there are like this road and also park activities and hotel and something developments. But we didn't see where are the sites exact located. Is there in this red or in this blue or in this green? So this is what I have for now. Thank you.
Continue.
Yes, please reflect.
Okay. From the last question, already the blue color is the heritage sites. The appointed site is the Emperor Yohannes Palace, and this one is it visible?
Yes.
And this one is the THSRI residential buildings. So the red one is proposed the adjusted functions. When you see the previous or the current plan of the town, it indicated the adjacent functions as a residential, and this near the Emperor Yohannes Palace is urban architectures. Rather than those functions, it is better to propose like important functions or the functions that is in line with the objective of the heritage sites. Like if we propose like hotels and restaurants, it enhances the importance of the sites. And the black one is the recommended asphalt roads. It is indicated in the current plan, but not available on the ground. It is not implemented. It is already pointed out in the paperwork. So because of due to lack of these infrastructures, the important or the significant of or the accessibility of the heritage site is becoming down. So this is the area allocation in the functions that is proposed. I have said that there are in my limitations. I have lacked or I have faced a problem due to the studies or any experience of heritage assessment practices due to even the town have lacks unorganized or documents. There are, of course, I have, as I have showed in my literature review, I have reviewed different materials, but specifically the current or the tangible practices, the research or studies, tangible practices, or what lacks during the practice of heritage conservation is there is a lack of document. In my, I think with Alula is specific. His thematic area is the Emperor Yohannes Palace, but my thematic area is the heritage sites entire the town. So the community, the data that I have captured is already I have legal letters from my university, and I have contacted with the town administrations, and they privileged me to they cooperated as much as possible the data, and the information I have gathered is not only by the questionnaires or interviews, also my observations, personal observation was very important. So I have asked different people, residents, regarding those heritage sites. As I have said before, even the residents adjacent to the site, especially the Gebregziabher residential building, they don't know. Also, even they don't know the buildings, the owner of the buildings, or some residents know, but they didn't know the historical backgrounds of their sites. So, due to this, I have understand what the heritage, and they haven't any safeguards also, the residential buildings. They keep sometimes the municipalities, but they didn't have regular keepers, except the Emperor Yohannes Palace. I think is I answered the questions.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kibrom. One thing that I want to know is about, I know these heritage areas are already you listed, they're in blue color, but I want to which one, the Imperial Yohannes or the archaeological site or the Gebregziabher residential house, you should indicate that one. And the second thing, my final remark is, please don't neglect this archaeological site in Agulae. It is a huge archaeological site. It is a fifth, as I mentioned before, it's the 5th, 6th century AD, a church, an Axumite church, which is a big significant for the town development, for the historical significance. A lot of things it has. So when you are doing a research there in this area, particularly in Agula area, please make sure that include this archaeological site. If you need further documentation and further review literature about it, please visit Tigray Culture and Tourism Bureau, case team archaeology. And also, I do have, I think, some 2-3 articles with me I can share with you guys, because this heritage conservation, when we say it's a broad concept, this heritage conservation, so we should include this archaeological site, because I'm an archaeologist, that's why I'm stressing on this archaeological site. So thank you very much for your nice presentation, and thank you, Dr. Alula.
Thank you, Kibrom. Yeah, still there are a lot of heritage sites which we identified, but also existing, like the ruin, as Gidey mentioned, and also the Kidanamrat Gethsemane Church is also contemporary with the Gebregziabher Selassie's house and Emperor Yohannes's palace. They were built at the same time, and also this old town itself. For example, places you propose to hotel and restaurant. I think this is part of old town, so it could there could be also some vernacular architecture there. When you make like bigger kind of blanket kind of zoning, that's why you will create the challenge. And also this green area, you can see this is the river, so you could also include this green area, and also you have mosque here, and so I think you can go detail into those things, especially if you plan for publication or other things as the outcome of this, or if you give a recommendation to the planners or policymakers. Yeah. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, so next we have to be strict with our time because we have 2 more presentations. I think we are so we go to Mulugeta or Sirak. And who's ready? Huh?
Ismaili?
Yes, who is this? Who is this?
Sirak.
Sirak. Okay, would you like to continue?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. Sirak is staff at Recipients University, the lecturer there, and also doing his master's in architectural design and technology. So his working title is on revitalization through adaptive reuse, case of the Gebregziabher Kahsay residence, also in Agulae. Would you like to share?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, continue.
Is this visible?
Yes, so you have 15 minutes, so I will give you a reminder when.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. I would like to start my presentation by mentioning my title, Revitalization Through Adaptive Reuse, the case of Dejat Gebregziabher Kahsay residence in Agulae town. And I would like to read some part of the abstract part. Adaptive reuse is a process of giving a new purpose to all buildings. It offers a practical way to restore abandoned or underused historical structures, turning them into valuable community spaces. In Agulae town, the Dejat Gebregziabher Kahsay residence, built in the late 1840s, stands as an important example of local architectural and cultural history, and thus residence showcases traditional Tigrayan stonework, decorative features, and reflecting the region's identity and political past. But however, years of neglect and impact of the recent conflicts in Tigray, it have been left severely damaged, and today the heritage sites like these are at risk from urban growth and changing community needs. And this study proposes a plan to restore the residence through adaptive reuse by combining respect for its historical character with the modern design solutions. And the aim of this project is to preserve the the aim of this thesis project is to preserve its building cultural value while making it useful and relevant for the community today. And when we go to the site, this is the site location of the heritage site, which is parallel with the Emperor Yohannes Palace. And when we go to the problem statement, the Dejat Gebregziabher Kahsay residence in Agulae town is vital and historical, cultural, architectural asset. The palace is currently neglected by the society, the town, putting it in a state of abandonment and decay. The lack of maintenance has led to structural damage, building material degradation, and loss of original architectural features. And the abandonment of the castle signifies a disconnection from the town's historical narrative and cultural heritage. The building purpose of existence is in question due to lack of awareness of the society of its own historical site history and the separation of the community from a vital link to their past history. And these are some photos I took when I visited, and the main research question of this thesis project is identify which adaptive reuse strategies are suitable for repurposing the Dejat Gebregziabher Kahsay residence. And the second one will be identify the historical and cultural significance of the castle. And the third will be how can architectural design and technology be integrated to enhance the palace functionality and sustainability while preserving its historical identity. And when we go to the objective, the main objective of the thesis will be to develop a comprehensive adaptive reuse strategy architectural solution for the Dejat Gebregziabher Kahsay residence that revitalize its heritage, purpose, and integrates it to the current community needs. And when we go to these are the interior parts of the main building castle. The research methodology I took are like a qualitative mixed research methodologies, like data collections from questionnaires, interviews, and some secondary sources like literature reviews and another like software simulations, and those are the pictures I took from the site visitation. This is the first floor, which is almost destroyed and ruined, and these are the sketches I took while I was in the site last year, in May or April, and we can see the structure is very degraded, and adding the uh, adding the main addition is one part of the adaptive reuse strategies, which is very main important by adding and using the landscape for the community, because we cannot just reconstruct the building without studying thoroughly, and for the time frame, I have almost 4 months to complete my thesis work. This is the 3D model I made in SketchUp, and these are the architectural drawings which are produced in AutoCAD and SketchUp. This is a main conference hall, which is similar with the Kidanamurat Church, which is found in Agulae, which was built by both the Gebregziabher, and this is a AI construct which I took from the only photo we have of the building, and thank you. Do you have any questions? Any?
Thank you so much, Sirak, for the nice pictures. Does anyone have questions or reflection? So this is revitalization through adaptive reuse. On this proposed new use, why do you think is this the best match for the building's values and layout? This was originally residence, and why not, for example, recommended something like that, or closer, or to make it residence and then make it museum of how it was originally?
Okay, I'm just trying to produce only the architectural drawings, but I'm thinking about the one with the tree, the residence part for the Gebregziabher. This one is the main castle. The other one is the conference hall, and the third building is this one. This one is the uh, this one. This one is I want to change by changing it to like community service building, like a museum, like I don't identify the main outcome of this research, because I don't know how to build this ruined structure. I don't know how to because the structural part is so degraded. I need a help from a structural perspective. But I was just thinking like designing the landscape with integrating with the riverside, which is looking to the palace, which is looking to the Emperor Yohannes for the building. I'm just trying to design the landscape and just fixing only this part, the one with the tree. I cannot change the main building because it's very. I cannot. When I was asking my questionnaires, the people there was very uh, restrictive with their answers. They do not want a modern structure. They want to be built in as as it is, but we cannot do that because we don't know how uh, the original masonry work was made.
Okay. And did you investigate anything in relation to the management plan, like who will operate it, how it will upkeep resource
The
with your
stakeholders,
proposed, yeah,
the
with your
stakeholders
proposed plan?
they were not very eager to share the site plan or the plans for the building because they are in debate in court. I think they was not very complacent to share information with me when I was there in last year. And the stakeholders I hoped will be the government of the city, the community there, and the ancestors of the building. I hope.
Okay. Thank you so much. Do you have any other reflection?
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please continue.
Okay, Sirak, thank you for the presentation. I just have a couple of questions. Since you're working on the reconstruction of heritage sites, have you seen the different mechanisms that we have on, using the skilled labor? And also, how are you going to tackle the adoption of the material usage? Because as you are also showing us on your presentation, I have seen that it's partially demolished. So you have an existing remnants on the site, as well as you have also to add some masonry units for the reconstruction of this structure. So have you seen the way of construction, especially the masonry, the stone masonry wall requires a skilled labor and also a unified binding material that supports those stone materials. So, have you seen by any chance, if you can suggest, or if you try to study the different types of bondings in that area and also the local practices that are available in country?
Thank you, Madane. As I said before, I'm not looking to change anything in this mainly the main castle. I'm trying just to do the landscape with relation to the river and adding new structures by studying the binding materials, as you said, by using the local materials of the masonry works and the pine trees from Desa, by local materials and local community help. I was trying to add the I was trying to I am trying to add a new structure into this project. I'm just trying to save this when someone with a structural solution or structural engineer knows how to prepare or how to build this, as I said before.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sirak. We hope to see continuation of your research and how it will evolve until it will finish. And thank you so much. Next, we will go to Mulugeta. Mulugeta, are you here? Mulugeta. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Are you able to present?
Okay, yeah, yes, I am ready.
Okay, thanks so much. Mulugeta will be, I think, our last presentation for today. And his title is Assessment of Vernacular Architectural Technology and its Conservation. He has been working on Ainalam and Quen the last few years, and we will see on his presentation. Can you share?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Abla, for inviting me to participate in this projects about the HeritageScapes. As you said, my master's thesis was about vernacular architecture.
Can you make your audio clear somehow? I don't know, by getting closer or...
About now.
Okay, yeah.
Well, as mentioned, my master's thesis was about vernacular architecture, specifically in Ainalam, and I used this and village Hidmo concentration as a supportive case study in my thesis, and I saw that the village has a huge potential of heritage about Hidmos, and really motivated me to participate in this, and I will thank you for that again. And my title for this specific village study was assessment about the vernacular Hidmo structures and their construction technology and its conservation. This presentation outlines some of the importance of the vernacular HeritageScapes oracles and the urgency to intervene in this study and the project. The overview, historical and geographical overview of the Beyene village, the demographic and socio-cultural of the vernacular features. And what's the importance of vernacular architecture? Because the vernacular architecture embeds cultural, environmental, and social foundations that specific village or specific peoples and carry collective memory, local identity. And
can you work on your? It's getting again a little far.
Okay, and each vernacular reflects the generations of practical knowledge, adaptation to a place or a specific place, environmental and geographical spaces. And this lesson for climate resilience, because vernacular architecture uses low energy, local and recycled materials,
and it includes oral histories, visuals, and indoor knowledge of this construction techniques. And the place and the cause of this specific for the village is because there is a rapid modernization. The construction technique is changing to iron sheets, kind of building construction technique, and there is some industrial means replace traditional practice and social and economic changes. Erode the cultural continuity, transmission, and communal maintenance. And Hirma house furnitures including abundant or replaced by the iron sheets. This is the traits for the urgency to intervene in this vernacular heritages because abandonment is irreversible, structural failures to each, and loss of authenticity without urgent action of reversibility. And youth migration has left the elders without support, accelerating deterioration and abandonment of those historical structures, and it most in us outdated structures and growing transform modern technologies, like I said, the iron sheet house types, and might not stay for long even after repairments. Most structure have, especially the old structures, have used small space kind of stores within the wall, and might be after repairments, it not stay for long. The residents have that. The project aim and the questions of this research is general is safeguard the architectural heritage of the Beyene village and implement sustainable conservation practice and the documents of these houses, and specifically identify the character, typology, and construction techniques, reason for abandonment and deterioration and its effect on the lifestyle of the people, and provide detailed documentation. Recommend compatible and sustainable solutions while addressing the contemporary needs for reliability and usability of the people. And the some the current conservation practice what kind of conservation practice are used currently? And the data
closer again. Yes.
Okay. The data collection I used is mostly interview the case monks, residents, and builders. I even went to another village called the Bashalamat, and one very huge builders and very old person, and he shared me very good knowledge of the construction. He built churches in the current part of Tigray, and the picture I use picture sketch and measurements. Observation I use a measurement to develop in softwares of some buildings, and I use literatures. And the data analysis I use is picture, drawing maps and sketch using the software AutoCAD, Photoshop in the AutoCAD, and because mostly I focus on interview, so the strategy is qualified strategy. And the overview is located in Sirak limited of Mekelle. It's a highland part of Tigray, and shaped by a seasonal river. And there are still century-old houses and educating long-term continuity.
Can you be a little bit closer again? Your sound is yeah.
And the long-term continuity of settlements and the durability of vernacular construction techniques. And it has a very rich cultural landscape, construction traditions, social organization, and spiritual life. And the link the people are big empirical political centers, agrarian and salt trade. That's why the village have more than 100 years old structures. And the outstanding surviving is the village has outstanding surviving of thermal structures, mostly forms one of the cluster in Tigray, representative Tigray. That's why this village represents the Tigray it is. And embed indigenous building knowledge adapted to the region's environmental condition and cultural practice. I managed to analyze 278 hidden structures and 3 churches. One is mostly only left wall structure. And when it's the settlement, residents are found on elevated ground of the village, and churches are hidden in the forest of Nodal for protection against the external threats of hunting, and especially during the political instability and the foreign agents. This is a map of the churches. Mostly the churches are found near rivers and hidden in the forests. So why the churches are located far from the village, protect them. And the socio-cultural aspect of hidden houses and churches are they can provide physical, cultural, and symbolic framework of the village, as from family heritage, continuity, image, the status and identity. The churches have spiritual centers and the spirituality of collective memory, extended family households with different ancestral ties, land and the inherent construction. This is a basic structure compound layout. The Jerusalem is the main entrance courtyard called Maraba, the animal shelters, and the Magogo kitchen and the main house, namely varies locally in this village. They call it Sakula and Gebela. This is the typical compound layouts. And when we come to technology and design of hidden structures, hidden houses and churches represent a localized adaptation of long-standing construction knowledge using thick stone walls, flat earth supported by timber beams, and they can vary in shape. Mostly, the hidden structures are in rectangular in the circle, and the building sizes mainly measured by my bits. Kind of space separated by column structure for space usage, and the size of construction materials and the titles is according to the introduction of new construction materials and the usual type of stone is used, and the functional as a church and residence. This is a typical church layout I developed from the church existed in the. It's this is also in a building that developed using softwares. It's how the space they are separated. And in the residence, it can be simple because the hidden residence have very flexible design layouts, very simple and it can be very complex. And that can and rectangular hidden are the most flexible because the size. Okay, I categorize it the hidden layouts. HeritageScapes, I got this type 1, rectangular type 2. I developed it from the existing hidden structure in the village. This is the type 2 hidden structure. The type 3, this is the type 3. The difference is space arrangements, and they are very wide in space using. Even some circular classroom for storage and storage of greenery and storage of process.
Can you get closer a little bit?
This building is more than century old, and this is type 3 the space arrangements. So like this is the building. And it was inside it's very old. We don't use any conversation hierarchy here. And the circular one is very simple. One space that's separated by space usage, function usage. And when we come to the construction material and the techniques, vernacular the hidden structure is local materials, stone and slate for courses. and slate for all the structures. And the Juniper Precinct, Sahdi, and Auli. When the village was very dense, they used local study. But after the deforestation, they used boats from the south, around 20 kilometers from the village. And Nora, or Jason, next to the south, the very sustainable struggle from technical engineers. The stuff can last for a lot of years. And the construction process was to carry stones after the introduction of stone tools during the Italian colony. And the layout using wooden wheels and foundation was foundation will be constructed out of that. And they used this very strong stones in the foundation. And during the wall, this is very technical. And during the wall construction, there is to separate builders from the inside and the outside builders, and they have different knowledge of constructions. Mostly, the builder is
always far again, a little bit. Yeah.
The builder who built from the outside is mostly very knowledgeable and technical, and the roof construction is this also mostly from very technical than the walls, and they use wooden structures for the there can be a column and carrying the primary beams garden from timber, and the variety is the secondary beam and beam hoods. This is the ceiling, and this one hoods gives beam or the ceiling decorative aesthetic. And according to the interview was builder, I went to Zabasharana. He told me before they use rubble about the methods. The people used to use plants called Shrub Abyssinian rose and locally called Chundo. This Chundo is very abundant in the place and very termite resistant. So they use this Chundo to separate this block from the soil. But after that, I think the Chundo was not successful for that customer, and they use the rubble. And this is the survey image. During my cases, I use some portion of the image, and now I surveyed almost the only parcel of the village. And around
we cannot hear it very well. Can you get closer to the mic or?
Okay, I surveyed around 238 residences, and 8% of the buildings are semi-collapsed. The 30% structurally failed beyond the restoration. 51% structural civil and still in use. 1% still in use. 8% are structurally stable but completely abandoned, maybe due to the migrations. And this first kind of the first for so long. That's very hard to restore. But there is a building near that. It's made from iron sheets. That's from the modern United States. The second picture is still structurally still stable, but water leaks. There's a indoors are some and this building can be restored with some requirements that completely adherent. One also can be the roof structure is stable, but because of the wall is collapsed, so the people abandoned it. And first picture is still in use. Structurally very stable building is still functional. And second one is abandoned, but structurally it's still structure. When we come to the churches. There are the three Hidmo churches in the village. The first one is the Basilican's Church. This church is the oldest and
keep on wrapping up. Yes, continue. You have a few minutes.
Constructor closed very close to the cave. Some part is under the cave because for the protection matter. And this church is demolished for the purpose of the wooden structures for the new church in the hill. And the second one is Saint Mekelle Church, built around 19 calendar. This one is also hidden in the forest and near the river. This church is gives service every year. It is very funny because there's a water around and has unique characters in design. Very unique. That's why the culture building and has a double stone eaves. The first I saw this kind of.
I cannot hear you, Mulugeta. Can you? What are you? Are you on laptop or?
Yes, I'm using laptop and I think it's here. I'm talking very close to the mic.
Okay. You don't have earphone, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I'm using the earphone.
Maybe it's better to remove the earphone and try with the computer directly.
How about now? Is it clear?
Yeah, it seems better. Yes. Okay.
So the since Mike now I'm able to see this church like this. It had a good character, feature, but now the church is plastered with completely cement mortars. I can understand why they did that because the stone was slate kind of, and it's hard to concept using other methods. It's changed completely the character and texture of the church. And one of the reasons this church is abandoned might be because of the road. The road is very hard for elders and at night. And the third one is the Saint Gabriel church. They are that's also hidden in the forest near a river. And this church is partially dressed carried big stones. This church is built after the reintroduction of some construction materials. And built after the roof is collapsed by the accident of rockfall stone by crushed plants found near the church. These are the lifts, some left of the roof of the church, very aesthetically very good, but due to lack of requirements on site, it's very hard to repair. And one thing we can take from this is the first picture was when first at the accidents, only one part of the church was demolished, but because of lack of the maintenance or repairments, as you can see, the roof almost completely collapsed. And the current challenge and the duration pattern in inappropriate interventions of the village mostly roof failure is the major challenge, and leaks. Water leaks and due to or due to poor construction or lack of maintenance, and this moisture penetrates the structural layers, leading to timber decay and wall crack. And this consequence is the total structural is the total structural peril or underdevelopment of the hidden houses. And to fight this, the people are practicing by kind of plastering using cement mortar. But the cement mortar is changing the texture and the character of the hidden structures. And And this is one good picture I found, and they use proper conservation methods. They painted it with conservative material that protects us from decaying the wood. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mulugeta. This is really good. And anyone has reflection on or question?
Yeah.
Apologize for myself about this last slide.
Thank you, Mulugeta. It's a really nice presentation. I really eager to read your outcome research either in publication form or in book form, because I didn't hear you very well because of this voice interruption. But just I have only one question, not regarding this HIDMO or related activity, related things, but it's quite different. As I mentioned earlier, since I'm an archaeologist, did you notify any archaeological sites nearby? Because I know that some French archaeologists have been doing a survey in Quiha area, in Agra and in Mekelle, which is east of Magada city. So have you noticed any archaeological sites there? Because one thing, as I mentioned, is there are like interest of international researchers in archaeology. The second thing is there are oral traditions. It might be true or false. Also, according to Dr. Samuel Kidana, mentioned in his one-day presentation at Hamburg, he mentioned there was like Sefra English, or a place where the Great Britain wants to Ethiopia. They were just settled there for a while. So have you noticed anything that related with that heritage sites? Maybe just on your journey. And the rest is really nice, amazing. I was really following your presentation, like just reading the notes. It's really impressive. I wish I could read in a book form or in an article form. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gidey. I hope it will be published. That was my aim to publish this research. And when it comes to your question, I don't have any knowledge about the archaeological sites around, but the people told me, especially the church, now the church which is giving service once a year is being visited by white peoples, because as we saw, it has very good structural, very good structure, and it can be this church. And the people, actually the villagers, also wanted to keep this village. The builder I mentioned, who built the current new modern church, also wanted to demolish this church, but they thought him to keep this church a very unique church. And but I didn't have any knowledge about other archaeological sites. And the oral history mentioned, I don't know about the but from I came from Eritrea. That's why the village was established. From Eritrea and from Gondar, kind of settled in the village, and they separated the areas to different. But gradually, they created a very strong village, and that's why the village is kind of created by political.
Yeah, thank you, Mulugeta. Maybe to add on that, Gidey.
Okay, thank you, Mulewa. Sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Alula.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Alula, but it's a good observation. I mean, I don't mean that just you should have knowledge of it, but on your trace already mentioned it. If the local communities are mentioning something is there. Also, how this village was just becoming just community center or settlement center. It is clear evidence. Also, maybe you can ask related with that. I can reply. Is that still the church is active? The church is still active also, and there are also like according to John Rees, he's a French archaeologist, and we've been working together with Professor Walbert and me and Mulugeta Kidana Mariam. We've been around there, so there are few archaeological sites related to Islamic and Arho centers. So maybe for your next time, you can take as a remark for your next time. You can include or mention as a further just in your recommendation and further steps to be needed to be investigated in this site. Also, it is good to recommend for the local researchers and the international researchers. Also, it is good and excellent work to be collaborate with those French archaeologists because they need to expand their research. They are focusing in Quiha, in Igrahariba, in Mekelle area. So this area is also rich in archaeology, in architecture, in different things. So please try to collaborate with them, and it will be good for you for your next scholarship activities. So this is what I want to say. Thank you, Dr. Alula. Thank you, Mulugeta.
Thank you, Gidey. I want to respond to that the Muslim settlement. Yes, I heard from one person told me there was a Muslim settlement in the area, but I can't prove that or another people can tell me or they don't have knowledge about that. So that's why I don't mention about the Muslim settlement.
Yes, Gidey, in terms of in this site, you know, this church, Saint Mekelle Church, it's in a valley, in a river. So actually, we have already 3D of it. I wish I could show it the valley. And in the valley, there is close to the mountain on the cave. There is also another ruin, the oldest Abba Stephanus church. So if you go to that church, you will find several skulls. Relatively, they look like a kind of old skulls. Also, Mulugeta, in one of the interviews, they told us the older church was demolished during the Nejashi. This is what they call the time when I think Ras Makonnen ruled in Tigray for 2 years. I think this is the Shoan time, and so in the valley you will find pockets of settlements, but in a larger network, this Koyan village is on the route of the salt trade and also the wood, the desa. So this village is on the route. It goes through Koyan and then Aragura, and we have another really old monastery on the adjacent of Desa on this line. What was it? It was called Georgis. Also that church, but you can see these are spots which they connected the salt route, caravan route of Arho, and also the Desa and usually potentially to the main settlement areas of the highlands. So this area is very interesting as an adjacent between two different places.
Thank you, Doctor. Information that I want to return that as a demolished church you mentioned. I have that information, but the information I get is from the builder, and who demolished specifically that church to use the timbers for the new church.
No, I'm not talking about Abuna Stephanos Church. What they told us when we interviewed them was they removed, first there is a landslide in the cave, so they cannot maintain that church. So they removed the ceiling wood and used it to build the new church. They took the wood.
Yes.
But I'm talking about the Mekelle and also the Gabriel Church, which was damaged by crash. These two was rebuilt in Zamanashe time, like these are 100-year-old. But what they say is they are rebuilt. They are not like new buildings. They are rebuilt on a previously existing demolished site. So if somebody do maybe pit excavation or check on the foundations of these buildings or in the surrounding of these sites, there could be an interest to archaeology. That's mentioning, because although these buildings are 100-year-old, but they are rebuilt on existing sites. Yes. Did you get me, Mulugeta?
Yes. Okay, the Saint. This Saint Michael Church. This one you said this one is rebuilt, right? You're saying this?
Yes, this one is rebuilt. This one is currently plastered with cement, and then also they brought back the ark as well. Also the other one, both of them are rebuilt around 100 years ago. But Abuna Stephanos on the cliff is older.
Yes.
Yes, this one.
So if you have other information, the people wrote the church was built in 1908.
Yes.
So it must be removed. There is another. I use that to write here.
Yes. And it's also important that this area become center to the local area at some point. The place you saw previously, the one house which you showed, the one had more next to cement blocks. It was later, I think, yeah. Anyway, they were the administrator of these are the local chief. So they would say they helped build one of the church, according to one informant. We did this interview together actually in Kuha, right? Mulugeta, if you remember, when they told us about the construction of the church.
I don't remember that story.
Yes. And it's a very, really good work. Anyone has a question or comment? Yeah, maybe for Gidey to visualize, I can show some additional before we close this. This is the cliff area. So maybe Mulugeta also can additionally explain more. So in this picture, if you can see the oldest church we're talking about is here. You see on the cliff. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you can see is here it's easier to visualize. So they removed the ceiling, the headmost ceiling, and they used it to build a new church.
So, Dr. Alula, if you've been here in this area, was like one author that he mentioned it about this lost rock art.
In Quen or Kahan?
Yes.
Kahan or
in Quiha and just in this area, just it is in the same environment. It is not too far away each other.
Yes, it's not far away. Yeah.
So I think this Italian archaeologist or paleoanthropologist. He mentioned that there was like a rocky one church. I mean, rock artists. So that indicates that real prehistoric sites in this area. Of course, it is there are immense of prehistoric sites nearby Quiha, untouched and explored, especially the caves around the river, towards this Felek Daro. Because I and Mulwar Kidanamariam, Professor Wolbert, and other, I think Yohannes from Mekelle University, Yohannes Aitano, we've been there together, so we saw like these caves, and that reflects this prehistoric deposition. Prehistoric deposition. So in this area that we are showing us now, this in the old church, it might be part of this prehistoric site. So it needs more.
It needs more study. That's why we are pushing for a different way. You see this new building. They took the ceiling of the headmo from the old church to build this church. Also, this church Masoner is very interesting. The Pope himself came to open it after it's finished. One of the best masons built this one in terms of like stone carving. But of course, it's not a fortunate event what happened to the old building. To remove they decided to remove the ceiling. But regarding rock art and everything, because we are focusing on specific sites, we are not doing exploration. But Mulugeta, you hear this information, and then you can do more explorations, I think. Is Mulugeta here? Mulugeta is disconnected anyways.
Yeah, that's good to see such kind of presentations and explanations, and the scholars also they have different perspectives on the same landscape, and it's really amazing. And like what Tsigab's present and Mulugeta and other Sirak, all of them, it's really impressive. We have to collaborate and we have to help each other, especially in this academia. And Dr. Alula, you are doing a great job, and thank you very much. And others, we have to follow your steps.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. We took a very long time, almost over 3 hours of time, and I wish you good things and peace. Those of you, especially on the ground, understand it's a tough time now. Thank you for attending, regardless of the difficulties. I really want to say thank you, and I think we finish our session officially now. Thank you.